guys. Today we're going to learn about labor unions. The title of the lesson is Workers Unite, and I'm going to do this in a couple segments, as you should be able to see in your Canvas course. All right, so urban labor we're going to see increase by 400% by 1890. This is right around when we started seeing new immigrants coming in from other countries. And we're also seeing a lot of people move from rural areas to urban areas or cities. And you remember the word for that is urbanization. It's mostly going to be unskilled laborers. And we see this assembly line work where people are able to constantly do the same tasks over and over. Although it may be grueling work, it's not something that they need a specific skill that they had to learn for years in order to do. Working conditions in these places are not going to be good at all. They are known as sweatshops, and we see sweatshops even today. You don't mostly really see them in the United States, but a lot of places like garment factories still have some of these conditions. And so, much like today, back during this time period that we're learning about in the late 19th, early 20th century, people worked for low wages, they had very long hours, and the conditions were not good. Even something as like the ventilation could be dangerous for the people who are working in there. Company towns were developed, and this is a town that springs up where workers' quarters are going to be built, and the company pretty much has control over the lives of the people that live there. Child labor is used as well, and children and women were not paid as much as men were for the work that they did. There are going to be people who advocate against child labor, and we're going to eventually see it being abolished. Labor unions. So these labor unions are groups of people that get together because together they have more power than they do separately. They're trying to improve the conditions of the workers, and they use a number of methods to do this. A lot of these conditions that they fight for, we actually end up getting today. So 8-hour workdays, that's the standard workday. 8 hours for rest, and 8 hours of leisure. So leisure is time that you have to do whatever you would like. Some different ways that they're able to do this is through striking, so that's refusing to work until their demands are met. Collective bargaining, and collective, that's gathering people together, and they have more bargaining power together. This is going to help them negotiate wages or how much money they're making, their hours, and other conditions of employment by the organized body of employees. And if a boss or a manager is hearing several people saying the same thing, it's going to be a lot more likely that they're going to have to listen. Arbitration is using a third person to decide what's going to happen in a labor dispute. And it should be a third party that isn't going to lean one way or the other, so they're meant to be someone who's impartial. Owners are going to counter these measures. They're going to blacklist people, and if someone's blacklisted, then that means their name's going to go on a list, and other people are going to be warned not to hire this person. So if someone was the leader in a union and managers want to make sure that this person doesn't lead another union or make an example out of them, then they'll be blacklisted. A lockout is temporary work stoppage. So when a manager or an owner of a plant decides to shut down and not allow people to come into work. A scab, this is the name that's given to a strike breaker. And so a scab's kind of a gross name to give somebody. If someone's going on strike or laborers are going on strike, then management can try to get other people to come in and take their jobs while they're out striking. And those people are called strike breakers or scabs. And it's pretty dangerous to cross that that picket line in order to go take the jobs of the men that are striking. You can imagine things getting thrown at them, or possibly a fight starting between them. Injunction. This is a court order to control someone's actions. And so they might file an injunction to try to stop somebody from behaving in a certain way.